Always it's a good practice to be conscious on how much we are spending with any cloud providers. So this is generally by setting up the budgets and the alerts. And a point to be noted here is that setting a budget or the alert will not stop incurring any cost, because by default it doesn't stop any of the services. It does not shut down any of the services. This is just an, you can say in a way that it's a reactive approach, but by setting an alert we can take some proactive actions. But if you're ignoring those notifications, then it will keep costing on those resources. So let's see in GCP how we can do that. I'm logging into billing. It gives you in the home page of the billing, it gives you then overall the actual payable in the billing cycle. This is the actual cost minus the credits or the discounts. Then you have your actual payable comparing with your previous month, and there are some reports by project, by service. So in this video we'll be focusing on how we can set the budgets and the alerts. When you are setting a budget, this is just an cap on with a specific amount which you are mentioning, and based on that you can set up some alerts to get notified. I have some couple of budgets here, just ignore. We'll create one new. You can give a name. Since I'm going to select this for monthly, this time range will define when to reset that amount which you are looking for. So if I'm setting $500, since it is per month, I just want to know by the name. So mentioning monthly $500. I'm setting up the time range by monthly. You have the option of quarterly, yearly, and custom range. Custom range you can mention from date and to date, or if you don't want it to mention to date, you can ignore also. So I'm mentioning monthly, and you can, this is the scope that you can define your budget to be applied for. So I'm selecting this for all service, all projects, and it can be for all services. Since it is for different projects, I don't want any of the project user to modify this budget, so I'm making it read only here. And then you have labels. This is a key value pair. You can mention, define those key values. This is just for identifying to filter those budgets. The next is the discount and the promotions. It is mentioned differently, but overall it's a credit for you. It's a discount amount from the GCP, either by free trials or any monthly limits on service based, whichever you are getting. So this is very based on different services. So you can include that by selecting those checkbox. What has to be included here? If we are considering this discounts and the promotions, then for example, if you are getting $500 the actual cost, but if your discount itself is 200, then the actual amount is 300 only. So this will consider that your $500 the monthly budget is not reached. Okay, if you want to ignore that, you can unselect those, so that including the discount amount also will be considered as a threshold for monitoring the budget that you are mentioning here. And then next, you can give an amount. This is $500. Either you can specify as exact amount, or you can make it to consider from the previous month, last month spent amount. Okay, so I'm giving an exact amount. And then next is the action. By default it gives you three different way to alert. The ranges 50%, 90%, 100% of the specified amount. From the $500, 50% is $250, the 90% is $450, and the 100% is $500. So this is the actual amount, and I don't want that to be an forecasted amount. You can set either of these options. Okay, so this is the exact. If you want any other different percentage to be monitored, you can mention that. This is by default, like it will notify the emails of the billing admins and the billing users. So you have those roles in the you can see from the IAM. Okay, and then you can link that to monitor for any specific project that you can select from here. Or this another one, the PubSub is an interesting aspect from controlling the billing when we are setting up the budget here. By default, as I mentioned, this is any budget that we are setting does not stop from incurring any cost, because it is just a monitor that we are setting here. on a specific scope of the project or the service, how much I should spend on that particular service or the project, and I'm making a way that I can monitor those by setting those alerts here. But in case if I want to shut down those resources, this is not a default feature of setting the budget here. So this may be one way of achieving that is to triggering this through the pub/sub topic. So this pub/sub topic can be configured so that whenever this threshold is reached, this will be notified through a pub/sub topic, which you can in turn refer that or monitor from a cloud function. In that cloud function, you can have your Python script to programmatically control those resources. You can shut down those resources so that you can have a force stop to avoid any further the charges applied on those resources. So I'm finishing. So with this, we have created one new budget with 50, 90%, 100% the alerts triggers also.